Okay, welcome everyone to this webinar on positive visualization and goal setting for 2014. The purpose of this webinar is to provide you with real solutions for weight loss. We all know that the conventional approach to losing weight through diet and exercise doesn't work. So we're trying to offer some varied solutions that get to the heart of the real issue. And visualization is an extremely powerful way for not only setting goals, but also getting your mind and body to work together. And also, I'm having this webinar now to give us a chance to talk and connect before I start my 5-week New You in the New Year intensive. So starting next week, I'm going to be working with a small group of people, just a couple hundred people. We're going to be working together every week, focusing step by step on different aspects of the Gabriel Method, on addressing what the real fat triggers are in your life, on healing digestion, working through emotional issues and stress, learning the right way to exercise, learning the right way to visualize, and creating positive habits in your life that will hopefully solidify and last you forever. So that's starting next week, and there's information about it on the page if you want to join us. Like I said, it's just going to be a small group of people. You will be able to talk to me on a regular basis. We're going to have experts from all different fields in the medical community that work really well, and that's what we're doing. So this webinar, in the meantime, if you have any questions, if you want to talk to me, this is a good opportunity because over that 5-week period, I'm going to be pretty enmeshed in the group that I'm working with. So you can actually talk to me on this webinar if you want. The way to talk to me is to call in on the number on the page and press 1. So if you press 1, Shannon from our office will pick up the call, put you in the queue. She'll send me a text here, and then I'll take the call. So we can actually talk. It's a real opportunity. Any questions that you have, not only about setting goals for 2014, but also any type of questions that you have about how to apply the Gabriel Method to your life, call in and talk to me. Press 1. You and I can talk directly. So, so there's a couple other things I wanted to mention. I was in a cab last week, and I was watching. I have these little screens. This was in New York, and I have these little screens. And I was watching Jimmy Kimmel. And Jimmy Kimmel was on there, and he said, basically, he says, I don't make New Year's resolutions. What I do is I look for small changes I can make in my life. And then when I find that I can't make any of these changes, I go back to eating entire tubs of peanut butter at 12 o'clock at night. So that's what he said. And I thought that was very funny. But there's an element of truth to it. We always make these New Year's resolutions, but they don't stick. And so that's funny, but the question is, why don't they stick? And I think that the reason why New Year's resolutions don't stick is because we don't really know how to program changes into our lives. There is a way to program changes, and that is through visualization. And we're going to talk about that, but until you know how to program changes into your life, you can say, I want to do this, I want to do that, but it never really sticks. And I happen to be writing a book on visualization at the moment, and it's going to be published by Hay House, which I'm very excited about to be a member of the Hay House team. They have some amazing authors. That's coming out next January, and we're just finishing the manuscript this week, as a matter of fact. So I'm doing a lot of research on visualization, and what I find is the greats, the super successful people in their life, in the world, the ones that do know how to set goals, do know how to achieve, and seem to be successful in pretty much all of their endeavors, so many of them actually use visualization. I'll just give you a list of some of the people that I found used visualization or use visualization in their life. Albert Einstein, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Thomas Edison, Carl Lewis, the Olympic sprinter who had 10 gold medals. He would visualize, before he started the race, he saw himself passing the line first and winning races. He would do that every single time. Tiger Woods, his father used to teach him visualization. So his father taught him that before you hit the ball, you imagine the ball going where you want it to go, and he does that every single time. Anthony Robbins, of course, teaches visualization, tremendously successful. He lectures in front of 4,000 people at a time. He's lectured to over 4 million people, changed lives all over the world, has had a big influence on my life too. Martin Luther King Jr. Uses visualization. And check this out from Jim Carrey. Who would have thought? Jim Carrey attributes his success to visualization. I'm going to read a quote from Jim Carrey. Back when I was broke and poor, I would go up to Mulholland Park and I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted. I had nothing at the time, but it just made me feel better. I actually wrote myself a check for $10 million for, quote, acting services rendered. I dated the check 3 years later, and just before the 3 years were up, I signed up to do the movie Dumb and Dumber, and I was paid $10 million for that role. In other words, he would go up to Mulholland Park, he would visualize what he wanted, he wrote himself a check for $10 million, dated 3 years later, and he got that check. That is mind-blowing to me. He got that check for $10 million, not for $5 million, and not for $20 million. He got a check for $10 million, dated the time that he dated the check. That to me is unbelievable mind programming. And I know visualization works for me because when I was over 400 pounds, I used to visualize myself looking exactly the way I do now, 186 pounds and fit and toned with tight skin and all these things. And one day I exactly became that image. And it wasn't a little bit like it, it was exact. And I really think that visualization is very powerful at that. Arnold Schwarzenegger, whom by the way, he's in a YouTube, if you go to YouTube right now, and you look at the most popular video, you see a very funny video where he dresses up, he puts on this black mustache and this long black hair and a hat, so he disguises himself and acts as an assistant manager at Gold's Gym. So Gold's Gym in Santa Monica is where he used to work out back in the 60s when he was a successful bodybuilder. And so he goes around helping people, he's wiping sweat off of people, and people don't know it's him. It's actually a really funny video. And I like the fact that he's gotten a sense of humor over the years, and it's worth watching. But one of the things I've always been impressed with Arnold Schwarzenegger is that whatever he does, he's successful at. So when he was a bodybuilder, he was the undisputed best bodybuilder in the world. Then he became a movie star, and he became successful at that. He ran for office, as we know, for governor of California, and he got that office. And everything he does, he's successful at. So he, to me, is the model of programming success into your life. And he attributes visualization to his success. So here's a quote from Arnold. When I was young, I visualized myself being and having what I wanted. Mentally, I never had any doubts about it. The mind is really so incredible. Before I won my first Mr. Universe title, I walked around the tournament like I owned it. The title was already mine. I had won it so many times in my mind, there was no doubt that I would win it. Then when I moved on to movies, the same thing. I visualized myself being a famous actor and earning big money. I could feel and taste success. I just knew it would happen. These are some of the most successful people in the world using visualization. Now, visualization is I find, enormously successful for creating positive habits and making them stick. I find that anything that I visualize myself doing, like if I want to do something the next day, whether it's go to the gym or have a successful meeting, whatever it is, make a really good smoothie, it doesn't matter what it is. If I visualize myself doing it, it actually will happen, and then it becomes a habit that much easier. They've done studies with Olympic athletes and with professional athletes where they visualize their ideal sport, playing basketball, throwing javelin, whatever it is, and all the muscles and neurons get fired in the same coordinated sequence as if they were actually doing the sport. And so what happens is, through visualization, we rehearse the mental and physical neuronal connections that are involved in whatever the thing is, and then it becomes a habit much easier. So you might have to do something 20 times over a 20-day period before it becomes a habit. But if you visualize yourself doing it 20 times over a couple of days, you've created that same habit. So what I would suggest to you is whatever changes you want to make in 2014, and by the way, we're going to talk a lot about this in the New Year and the New You 5-week intensive, and the reason why we're having it in January is because whatever New Year's resolutions that you want, whatever changes you want to make, we're going to focus on that in the actual intensive course. But any type of thing that you want to do, I don't care how small it is. Let's say you want to wake up in the morning and have wheatgrass juice, or you want to go to the gym in the afternoon, or you want to listen to a visualization in the afternoon, or you want to have a really good meeting that day, you want to do well in school. It doesn't matter what it is. Just spend a moment as you're going to sleep at night, imagining yourself doing it. It only takes a moment. Imagine yourself juicing the juice or making the smoothie, going to the gym. Imagine yourself having that meeting and having it be incredibly successful. Imagine the weight melting off your body, having lots of energy, craving healthy foods. Doesn't matter what it is, whatever it is, just imagine yourself, just visualize yourself doing it as you're going to sleep or first thing in the morning, and it will become a habit. Visualization, to me, is the missing ingredient in creating a habit. It's using your mind as a creative principle to create whatever it is that you want. And then you get really good at it, and it just propels and propels. You want to start a new career. You want to be an accomplished athlete. You want to have a great relationship. You want to buy the house of your dreams. Doesn't matter what it is. Just use visualization, and it becomes a muscle that gets stronger and stronger over time. So let me just see if we have any questions. Aaron, so does Den have questions on the chat roll? The other way you can talk to me is through the chat roll, and we can bring Den in and we can start asking questions. And Shan, if you could just send me a text letting me know how many questions we have on the chat roll, and also if we have people with their hands up. So once again, if you want to talk to me, this is a great opportunity. You just press 1, call in and press 1. You can talk to me directly. Aaron, can we bring Den in?
Hi, John.
Dan, how are you?
Good, thank you. I've got several questions here. Kayleen asks, I have been following the GM for a couple of years now, working through all the bad stuff as it comes up. I'm still stuck with the weight. What would you suggest? I don't focus on the good and bad days. Yeah, sorry.
For starters, Kayleen, I would suggest that you call in and talk to me, because there's so many questions that I would have to ask you. You're not giving me really any information at all. You're saying that you followed this, you followed that. I need to know what's causing your weight gain, and the only way I can know that is by talking to you and figuring out what your trigger points are. So if you really want me to give you a real answer rather than just an answer of keep doing this, keep doing that, call the number, press 1. You will get through, because I think we only have a couple of callers in at the moment. So you will get through. Let's talk, and let me help you work through your issues. Okay? Dan?
Okay, thanks, John. Yeah, Dominic asks a question. Apart from the morning and evening visualizations that I do the usual way, I would feel happy to listen to the music and to the visualizations like I would a playlist. Like, for example, many in a row, when I do something quiet and calm that makes me feel good, like knitting or sewing. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
Do you think this would work?
I think that's a great idea. Just don't do it while you're driving or while you're in a car where someone else is driving. That's a problem, okay? But otherwise, visualization is the type of thing where the more the merrier. The more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more benefits that you get. And it does calm you, it does relax you. It's not an effort type of thing. You don't get exhausted from it, and it helps you work through lots of issues. So I think that's a brilliant, brilliant idea. You can even record your own type of visualizations and put them in the playlist too, so you can get specific changes that you want to make. And that's something that we can talk some more about also.
Okay, thanks, John. Brina asks, I really want to know about how to manage the gap between the visualizations and the present physical reality. Yeah. It is a feeling like a constant discouragement right now.
Yeah. So that's just a function of time. So over time, the two meet. You know, I mean, look at me. I was over 400 pounds, and I was visualizing myself at 186 pounds with stomach muscles. There's a big disparity there. They come together over time, because what happens is look for little signs of success along the way. So what are some of the signs of success? You're not as hungry. You got more energy. You're not craving junk food. Some of the things that you normally did, the destructive habits, like you come home from work exhausted, watch TV, and order delivery from 5 different people, that's not happening. All these little things are saying that the visualization's working and you're getting closer and closer to reality and the visual image coming together. So look for the successes along the way. Really, really love and appreciate your body. Recognize that your body is using weight as a form of protection. It's not out to get you. And really love and appreciate your body. You can even imagine every cell of your body. You've got 70 trillion cells. Imagine every cell of your body saying at the same time the words, I love you, just over and over again. I love you, I love you, I love you. Just imagine that, and imagine the weight melting off of you, and then you will find certain things that indicate that success is on the way. You will forget to eat, you'll miss a meal, you'll stop eating halfway through a meal. Little things to indicate that it's not about food anymore, and the weight will start to come off. In the meantime, be very patient and be very loving with your body. Okay? And Aaron? Can you just ask Shan to give me a call or to send me a text, please? Okay, cool. All right, Deb?
Yeah, okay. Hi, John. This is a question from Lois, sorry. I've just signed up and I'm looking forward to the journey. I know this isn't a diet, but you do give a lot of food tips, and I've checked out the e-recipe book. Yeah. My question is, do you have any specific advice for vegans, which I am?
I do, as a matter of fact. The advice for vegans is that you have to be really, really careful if you're a vegan, because if you do vegan the right way, you're going to be one of the healthiest people on the planet. But if you do vegan the wrong way, you will be unhealthy and you will have real trouble with your weight. I personally gained over 150 pounds over a 7-year period while I was a vegan. But I was a vegan for about 5 years before that, where I didn't have any weight problems. What happened was I moved to New York. I started working on Wall Street. It was very stressful, and then I started eating a lot of junk food. And if you do vegan the combination of vegan and junk food is a disaster, because you're not getting enough protein, and you're also missing B vitamins and iron if you're not careful. And so you're nutritionally deficient in certain areas, and you default toward dead, lifeless carbs. I'm not a vegan anymore, but I do eat lots of healthy live foods, and I eat animal proteins too. So I always tell people I'm a raw food vegan that eats chicken, meat, and fish. And what I mean by that is most of the foods I eat are raw, live, real, as if you were on an island 10,000 years ago, whatever was there. But I also eat animal protein too, because my body needs animal protein. Now, you don't have to eat animal protein, but if you do vegan wrong, you will find yourself in a protein deficit. So I was in a vegan restaurant. This was last week when I was also in New York, and I can almost always get a meal. It was the only time I was in a restaurant where there was almost nothing I could eat, and that was because it wasn't what I would call a healthy vegan type of diet. Everything was deep fried tofu and seitan, which is wheat gluten, hydrolyzed soy products, deep fried battered vegetables, and all grains and rices and breads and sugars. And if you looked at the people that I looked at the people that were serving, and they looked really unhealthy. They were overweight, they had sunken eyes, and they had those dark patches under their eyes. A day later, I went to a raw food restaurant, which is also vegan, and the people looked like they glow in the dark. They were so healthy, so vibrant, their skin. And there wasn't any diet aspect to it. They eat lots of fat, lots of, quote, high-calorie foods. They eat tons of coconut and nuts and seeds and lots of things that are, quote, high calories. So it's not about calories, but man, their eyes were glowing and their skin was glowing and they were fit and healthy. I'm sure they didn't have less calories than the deep-fried seitan, wheat, soy product, gluten restaurant, but everything was raw and live. So instead of eating grains, they had nuts and seeds. They had cakes made out of ground walnuts and almonds and dates for the crust rather than grains. And grains, once again, elevate your insulin levels. They cause inflammation. All these things cause you to gain weight. So there's no grains in a raw food diet. Lots of nuts and seeds, salads, chia seeds, coconuts, lots of healthy fruits. That type of diet is a super healthy diet. Now, I would suggest that you tend toward that type of diet, and really the thing to do is just imagine you were on an island 10,000 years ago. What could you eat? Well, everything in the raw food restaurant you could eat. At the vegan place, no. They don't have mock tofu meat, chicken meat made out of hydrolyzed soy protein in an island 10,000 years ago. They don't have deep fried battered zucchini. They have it's all in an island 10,000 years ago. All there is there's nuts, seeds, fruits, lettuces, vegetables, animal proteins. Now, you're not eating animal proteins, obviously. So what I would suggest you do is tend toward the real food diet, which is a super healthy diet, doesn't elevate your insulin levels. It's very good on your digestion. It reduces inflammation. And both insulin, which the normal vegan diet elevates, and inflammation, which the normal vegan diet causes, both of those things activate your fat program. So it doesn't do any of those things. But I would also advise you to supplement with a protein drink. Have a protein smoothie. Have a smoothie with some protein powder, like a green smoothie. Protein powder, spinach, maybe some celery or salad in there, maybe some coconut water and some mango, so it can be a little bit sweet with some protein powder. Put some chia seed oil for omega-3s or some ground chia seeds in there, or just regular chia seeds in there. Mix it all up. Have a good protein smoothie once or twice a day so you're getting protein. Use nutritional yeast in your salad because it's a good assimilatable form of B vitamins. And then by doing that and having mostly raw, you can be super, super healthy. You won't be as hungry because you'll be more nourished, and the weight will melt off of you as opposed to stay on you. Okay, Jen? Hey, Erin?
Yeah, thanks, John.
Okay.
I think we have a few callers now, so I'm not sure. Did you want to keep asking me? Or
Yeah, I'd love to take, let me just check
Dominique.
with Erin. Hey, Erin? Can you, I'm not getting texts from Shannon. You got to tell her that, okay? So I don't know how many callers we have. Apparently we've got a lot of callers, but I'm not getting the information. So there's a breakdown here. So, all right, so Erin, who's the first caller? Dominique from where? Okay, all right.
California.
Okay, so Dan, I'll come back to you with the other questions. People, if you have questions in the chat, we'll keep asking them. And I'll take Dominique in California. And Erin, if you could figure out what's going on with the text just so I can get that information. Thanks. Maybe, Erin, you could send me the text, okay? Okay. Dominique, you there?
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure.
Well, what I was wondering is, I've been reading in your book and online how you talk about retraining the brain instead of craving the junk food and the cakes and all that, and to be craving, the kales and all those healthy foods.
Yeah.
And I remember being told that pregnant women will crave the most horrid things because it's their body really seeking a nutrient. So when we're eating the kale and beets and things like that, is there something that will help get the brain to realize this is where that nutrient's at, not the brownie or whatever?
So actually, I just want to make a point. When you talk about pregnant women don't just crave junk food because their bodies are craving nutrients. Pregnant women crave junk food because their body wants to hold on to weight. So, and the important point here is that when your body wants to hold on to weight, and not, by the way, not all pregnant women do, but at all times, but there certainly are times for most pregnant women where they're craving all kinds of junk food. Now, the reason they are is because their body wants to hold on to weight. And the important point is that when your body wants to hold on to weight, you crave junk food. So the best way to make the junk food cravings go away is to address the real issues that are causing your body to want to hold on to weight. And that's what we talk about, not only in the Gabriel Method, but also in this New You in the New Year 5-week intensive. We talk about, we also talk about addressing the real issues of what's activating your fat programs. Now, there's several things that can be activating your fat programs. One is just chronic stress or emotional issues. Both chronic stress and emotional issues can cause a chemical condition in your body that causes the same chemistry that's happening in a pregnant woman and makes your body want to hold on to weight. It's the same chemistry that happens when you're in a famine that makes your body want to hold on to weight. So stress can do that. Processed foods can do it.
Yeah.
You understand? So processed foods can do it. Digestion can do it. So what we try to do first and foremost, before we manage cravings, is we address the real issues. So if you're having stress and emotional issues, the first place I would start is by listening to the evening visualizations and a morning visualization to reduce stress, to deal with emotional issues, and give your body time to adjust hormonally. Once that happens, you will naturally start to crave healthier foods. Now, I know this because I lived through this, because when I was in a really stressful and both emotionally abusive stage in my life, I had to have that food, but those cravings went away. That's the first thing I would suggest for you to do, Monique. And then after that, I would say that by constantly adding healthy foods, and then by at the same time eating those other foods, so that you're not in a deprivation state, your body will get trained. Now, it's not doing it this way. You're not going to lose 20 pounds in 20 days. It's not a starvation diet. It's not a diet. It's not a diet at all in the deprivation sense. But you do train yourself.
No, it's a lifestyle.
Exactly. And you train yourself. So the first thing you do is you get rid of the stresses, or you manage the stresses. You put habits in place that manage the stresses that cause the junk food cravings. Then you continually introduce superfoods. So in the morning, I might have a superfood shake, like my Green Me Up Johnny Super Powder. I might have some green juices. I'll have some chia seeds and tahini mixed together. I might have a protein shake. I'll really add as much nutrients as possible to my diet, and then I'm sure that I'm getting nutrients right from the start. And then I'm not hungry because I'm in a nutritional famine. I also add digestive enzymes and probiotics that improve my digestion, and fermented foods, so that I'm digesting and assimilating nutrients. So now the stresses are gone, you're more nourished, and you're introducing your body to healthy foods, and over time, the junk foods will go away. Does that make sense?
Okay. It does a lot, and I love your evening visualization. I actually put it on a repeat loop.
Okay.
So as I sleep, it's going in there.
Good.
And yeah, your visualizations have helped a lot.
Great.
They really have.
Well,
all right. Well, thank you for answering my question. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Just give it a little bit of time, and you'll notice that you'll start to crave some of the healthier foods more often, and you'll have more energy, and the other foods less often.
All right. Well, thank you.
My pleasure. Okay.
All right. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Okay. The next caller is Antoinette, also in California. Antoinette?
Hi. Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I have some of your visualizations, and I utilize them, and they're very, very wonderful. I have had a complex health history, and I'm 52 years young, and I'm loving life and living loving, although I've really had some complications health-wise in my life.
Yeah.
At the moment, I believe that I am experiencing some hormone fluctuations, and the big thing now is everyone talking about bioidenticals, and I really don't know if I'm a proper candidate for that, and I'm wondering if one can address hormone imbalances with a healthy eating lifestyle and possibly some, herbal supplementations or Ayurvedic type approaches. I want to get your thoughts on that.
Sure. So are you going through menopause right now? Is that what's happening?
Well, that's what they say.
Okay. Well, you say that's what they say. You're not feeling that that's true, or?
Well, I know my estrogen from the test. I know that my estrogen is low, and a doctor tried to prescribe some bioidenticals for me in pill form, and I had a horrible reaction, just a horrible reaction that scared me, something horrible. So yeah. I'm a little bit afraid of it now. So okay. I just don't know about that mindset of bioidenticals.
So the thing about bioidentical hormones is that if you do them wrong, and unfortunately the way most people practice bioidentical hormones it is wrong. They do it on just a straight line approach. And what happens when you just introduce hormones on a straight line approach, that is every day you take your hormones, is that your body, your cells develop a tolerance to the hormones, and then you get a rebound effect because it becomes less and less effective, and your body stops producing the hormone, and it all works against you. There are certain people out there. One of them is a Dr. Howard Leibowitz, who actually is one of the medical lecturers in our program, in our New Year in the New You program. I interviewed him on bioidentical hormones and on hormone replacement therapy and hormonal changes and how they affect weight. And he's in the program. I think he's phenomenal because he doesn't do bioidentical hormones the way most practitioners do. He does it in a way that's naturally varied with your cycles based on a myriad of tests that he does. But he also suggests, and this is coming back to the first question that you have, he also suggests that most of the hormonal issues can be taken care of through proper lifestyle changes. Now, what Dr. Leibowitz says is that stress, the reason why we have medical problems and weight problems when we go through menopause is that stress overwhelms our system. The actual stress of the hormonal changes in your body overwhelms our system. So doing lots of other things that reduce stress, like eating foods that are anti-inflammatory, nourishing your body, and doing visualizations to reduce mental and emotional stress will help your body adjust naturally through the menopause process, and you won't need bioidentical hormones. So that's always the first place to start, is by learning how to address mental and emotional stress. That's so crucial. Learning how to improve your digestion, learning how to nourish your body. And if you start there, there's a good chance that you won't need bioidentical hormones. I personally don't recommend them unless you're being treated by someone like Dr. Howard Leibowitz. Now, you can join Dr. Leibowitz. If you go to the Leibowitz Longevity Center online, you can join him. I believe he has conference calls every couple of weeks that you can get on, and you can talk with him. It's a great thing to do. As I mentioned, he's one of the participants, one of the guest lecturers for our 5-week program, so there's a lot of information that we get from him there. I really ply him on the pros and cons of bioidentical hormones. So he's in there too. But in general, I focus, and I would suggest that you focus on being as healthy as possible, adding health, mind-body health, doing things to nurture your body on a mental and emotional level, doing things to nurture your body on a physical level, adding lots of nourishment to your body that helps your body function properly on a hormonal level. Those are the real keys to success in navigating through menopause and also many other health-related illnesses. Does that make sense?
Yes, it really does. Do you have a visualization that you offer that helps women in particular with hormone balance?
I may have one in our support group. You know, we have a support group where every month we do a live visualization, and so we've got maybe 20 different visualizations in there that were live visualizations, and I'm pretty sure that I do one not specifically for women, but just for natural hormone balance. If I don't, it's certainly a great idea, and I'll add it to the list, and we'll have it there shortly, and make it maybe over the next few months. I can't say exactly when, but that is a great idea if we don't have it already. But I'm pretty sure. I know we do one for managing type 2 diabetes, reversing insulin resistance, stabilizing blood sugar. We do those, and those are hormone balance type of things that are also really important in every aspect of health. But one specifically for women, I'm not sure if we've done that yet. But we certainly will, because it's a great idea.
Can I ask you one other quick question,
Absolutely.
John?
Sure.
I seem to be sensitive to a lot of protein powders, and I'm wondering, I've tried various protein powders, and I'm wondering why that is, and do you have one that you like over others?
When you say that you're sensitive, what does that mean?
I get tired. Like, if I have sensitivities to different things, and if I take something, especially like coffee, it tires me.
Yeah, okay, so
a lot of protein powders I take, and I get tired.
Okay, now what about if do you eat animal protein?
Yes.
Okay, so what about when you have animal protein?
It doesn't tire me.
Okay, then don't eat.
It doesn't tire me.
Then why do you need protein powder then?
I just like them as meal replacements sometimes. Get up and go quick, you know.
Yeah. So I would suggest that you avoid them and you look for other sources of protein. Make sure you get a good source of protein in your diet. Maybe have a green juice for that quick energy, like a juice made out of celery, cucumber, spinach, lemon, and ginger. A juice like that would be a great thing for you to have. But then make sure you're getting lots of protein, animal protein, in your actual meals. I would suggest that you do that. Now, the easiest proteins to digest are probably the raw proteins. So there's a raw protein made out of rice bran, Sun Warrior rice bran, I think is a raw protein powder. And usually hemp, protein powder made out of hemp, is also usually raw. So you might want to try the raw ones, but in general, I would say stay away from them. Have green juices instead of green smoothies for snacks, or nuts and seeds for snacks, made out of like nut and seed snack balls and things like that, like we have in our recipe book. But then just make sure you're getting your protein in your meals through animal protein.
Thank you very, very much.
My pleasure.
I admire your work.
Thank you. My pleasure. Okay. Look forward to speaking again. Take care.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to keep taking callers. Then we've got Kyle. Kyle calling. I don't know what that's supposed to say.
Hi, John.
Yeah, hi, Kyle. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. So the last couple of weeks I've been really diving into the Gabriel Method and really enjoying it. It's doing wonders for me and doing a lot of the visualizations. And one of the things that's kind of bubbled up to the surface during my visualizations is that I found I have a big fear of failing in this journey. It's something that, I've kind of lost the battle my entire life, and even though I know on the surface that the key is that it shouldn't be a battle and that it's to get my body to work with me, I have this underlying fear that it's just not going to work, or I won't be able to get my body to cooperate to get to where I want to be. And I was just looking for some advice on how to get past that fear and how to move forward.
Okay, but you're having success right now, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen much on the scale. I try not to step on it too much, but I feel my clothes getting bigger on me. I have a lot more energy. I'm craving, raw, vibrant foods and, all that stuff.
Here's the first thing to realize, that fear of failure you've developed through approaching weight loss in a certain way that's always yielded the same results. And there's I don't know who this is quoting, but there's a quote that I've heard that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And the problem with the modern diet approach is that, as you probably know by now, it makes your body want to hold on to weight. It activates a famine response, and all this chemistry goes on, and then you end up going to war with your body. So I call it the flawed diet approach. And to me, the flawed diet approach is a little bit like trying to walk through a glass door that you don't know is there. So if you're looking at a glass door, you think maybe the door's open, you don't know that the glass is there. Every time you try to walk through that glass door, you're going to hit your head. Eventually, you're going to draw the conclusion that it's impossible for you to walk through that door. And you might develop a fear of failure around it too, because it's been reinforced so many times. But losing weight by getting your body to actually want to be thin, while it may not be for everybody an immediate thing, although for some people it happens very quickly, other people it may take longer to address the issues. By doing it when you're working with your body, there is nothing on earth that is easier than losing weight when your body actually wants to let go of the weight. So when you get yourself, now it might take some work to get there, but when you get yourself to the point where your body actually wants to lose weight, it's like opening up that glass door. And it's not hard to walk through it. You're not going to fail. You can't fail. It's the easiest thing in the world. You've just opened the glass door. Does that make sense?
Sure. So you think I should just stick with it and that fear will just naturally go away over time?
The first thing I want you to do is understand how that fear developed and why this is different. And then I'd like you to do a vision. I'd like you to do a visualization. I'd like you to imagine yourself like where you are right now, looking at a glass door. I'd like you to do this vision in the morning. Okay, so you're looking at the glass door. You slide the glass door open. You walk through the glass door. As you walk through the glass door, all the excess weight melts off your body.
Okay.
And then you say to yourself, losing weight this way is easy, effortless, and automatic. I cannot fail. There's only success.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, and then I'd like you to imagine the rest of your day and the coming months getting thinner, fitter, healthier, having it happen automatically without effort, just dropping off your body and reaching your ideal weight. So I'd like you to do that visualization just for 30 seconds to a minute every day in the morning after you're finished doing whatever guided visualization you're doing. Can you do that?
Okay, absolutely.
And that will reinforce your success.
Okay, thanks so much.
Excellent, my pleasure. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Okay, so next caller is Kayleen from Rockhampton. Kayleen, you there? Kayleen?
Yes, I'm there.
Hi, Kayleen, how are you?
Hello.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Kayleen?
I can hear you.
Good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
Okay. I'm good.
Great. How can I help you?
I'm the person that at the beginning of the webinar that you actually started to answer
Excellent.
my question, but you wanted me to call in, so
Excellent.
I've called in.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you've been working for a couple of years and you feel like you're in a place where it's something that's not happening for you. Is that right?
Yeah. I have like times where I kind of just like totally get unfocused and off the plot, and then I get back on again. But at the moment, it's like I feel like I'm really stuck, and it's a struggle.
Yeah.
To try and actually be there and do it.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you some questions, Kayleen. How old are you?
Yep.
How old are you?
I'm 46.
Are you going through menopause?
46.
You going? Any signs of menopause?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No. I've had tests and stuff done for my hormone levels, and they're all still okay. So my doctor thinks probably another 5 years or so.
Right. So how much weight do you want to lose?
Probably. Well, I haven't weighed myself in a long time because we threw our scales out.
Yeah.
But I know that I've probably put on more weight since I've thrown the scales away. I don't know, maybe 35 kilos approximately.
Have you been checked for sleep apnea?
Yeah, I got checked for sleep apnea a couple of years ago, and they said that I didn't have sleep apnea. So.
Okay. Do you have kids?
I have one grown-up daughter who's nearly 30.
How long have you had a weight issue?
How long? Oh, well, off and on ever since she was born.
Yeah.
I started to put on weight like in just the last couple of months of my pregnancy, and since then I've had weight loss, weight increase, weight loss, weight increase. It's been like a ongoing circle for quite a few years now. So. Yeah.
Okay. So now, do you get hungry or tired in the afternoons or late at nights?
I'm usually, because I work all different kinds of shifts at work, so it depends on where I am in my work day. I tend to get like a little bit tired towards the end of the afternoon or the end of the shift.
Yeah.
I don't really, once I've had my dinner, that's it. I'm not really hungry after that. But like sometimes my dinner is just right before I go to bed because I might not get a dinner break at work. So then my dinner break is when I get home, and then I usually have a shower and go to bed. It just depends which shift I'm on and what day in the week it is really. So I have very erratic eating time.
Do you have erratic work hours in terms of you do night shift work and things like that?
Yeah, and you don't have like meal times when normal people would be having meal times.
Yeah.
So it depends on what time you start your shift, when you get your meal breaks and all that kind of stuff. So
do you find it fairly stressful working the work that you do?
Yeah, well, I make the most of the work I do. Like, I make it fun, you know. It makes it go faster and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm kind of at a point where, like, I'm over it. Like going to work, just the thought of getting up and going to work is just like, yeah, I'm over it.
Okay, so what?
But I still go because I still have bills to pay and
sure. Okay, so here's the sense.
To live, so.
Here's the sense that I'm getting. The sense that I'm getting more than anything is that your weight gets triggered when you're feeling a little bit overworked and overtired, when you're feeling depleted. Because that's typically what happens when you gain weight, when you have kids. It's very common that people have kids and then they start gaining weight because they just feel kind of overworked and depleted, and that's sort of the gist of what I'm getting when I feel what it's like, the work that you're doing. It's not killing you type of work, but there's this sort of feeling like, and I've had this too before, where you're on a treadmill that's moving a little too fast and you'd like it to move and you'd like to be able to get off it every once in a while. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
So that feeling.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So that feeling of being depleted is your problem. More than anything, that feeling is going to undermine your success. It's going to make you kind of want to go off the rails, as you say. It's going to make you want to eat junk food. You're just going to be too tired to exercise, too tired to do anything else other than watch TV and eat some junk food. So that's the feeling that you need to focus on. You need to focus on that, not letting yourself feel too depleted. So there's different ways that you can do that, but they all center around re-energizing your body. So what are some of the things that you can do to re-energize your body? Going for walks in nature, meditation, visualization, getting a massage. We have a really good visualization that we made for women called the Living Goddess meditation. That would be a great one.
Yep, another one.
Yeah, it'd be a great one for you to listen to. Having an afternoon off once a week just for you, having lunch with friends, just doing things that when you have some free time are not about bills and doing the housework that's piling up and this guilty feeling like you should be doing something else. Actually investing in yourself. You will get the most success in investing in yourself in habits and activities that re-energize you. And if you do that, you won't go off the rails. You won't feel like it's too much. You'll crave healthier foods, not junk food, and it'll be much easier for you to lose the weight. So that's the thing that I would like you to focus on. At least once, maybe having a day to yourself that's just you. I don't know if you can do that, but one day it's just a special day for you, or one afternoon a week, or the weekends, or something you do once a day, like listening to the Living Goddess, or going for walks in nature, doing some stretching or yoga, or taking a warm bath with some scented oils and candles, something that nourishes you at every level so that life doesn't feel like drudgery. That's what's going to help you. So that's what I would suggest that you focus on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sounds good.
Excellent. Okay. Do you think you can do some of those things?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I usually have a Monday morning to myself. Occasionally it's messed up a little bit with appointments, but yeah, I usually have Monday mornings to myself, so I could do that on a Monday morning.
Okay, how about something you do once a day, like having an hour to yourself a day that's just about nourishing? It could be doing artwork or drawing, but something that's just living in real time, that's about the joy of life and nourishing your soul rather than getting things done and making it through life.
Yeah, that would be harder during the week because my shifts are fairly long shifts, but I could definitely do that on the weekends. And I could probably do maybe 15 minutes to half an hour during the week or something.
That would be great. And this is the key to your success, is something that nourishes your soul. You need to nourish your soul so that life doesn't feel just like drudgery, and then you will have more energy.
Yep, no worries.
Okay, beautiful. All right, well, let's keep talking. Any time down the road that you want to connect, we can talk again.
Okay, thank you so much, John.
Okay, you're welcome. All right,
Bye.
Bye. Okay, we have about 10 minutes left in the webinar, and we've got quite a few callers. We've got about 4 or 5 callers. We'll do the best we can. Maybe we can run about 5 minutes over if we can. But let's go ahead and take Susan from Georgia. We'll do the best we can. Maybe we can run about Susan, you there? Over if we can. But let's go ahead and take Susan from Georgia. Susan, are you there?
Hello?
Hi, Susan.
Hello?
Hi, Susan.
Yep. Hello? Hello?
Susan, can you hear me?
There's a lag time.
Susan, you got to turn off your computer. Mute your computer.
I'm trying. Hello? Oh, okay. Sorry. What I'm trying to figure out is how to deal with triglycerides.
Yeah.
And without doing statins.
Yeah. So
and nutritionally.
So triglycerides are a stress response when they get elevated. When your body when you have high triglycerides, it's from stress. Now it could be mental and emotional stress, or it could be digestion stress, or it could be processed foods or toxins. There's lots of different things, but naturally we focus on pretty much all of these elements. And by focusing on reducing stress, emotional issues, nourishing your body, healing your digestion, reducing toxins, finding alternatives to processed foods, all of these things will reduce the mental and physical stress in your body, which will naturally reduce the triglycerides, which are a stress response to the many and varied mental and physical stresses that we have in our life. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Do you think that, are you stuck going on statins? Or can you do it that way?
The first thing I want to say is that it's up to you, Susan, to pick your doctor. Now, doctors will not all agree on this, so you pick your doctor, and then I advise you to do whatever your doctor says. Don't listen to me if I go against your doctor, because I'm not a doctor. So find a doctor that you agree with, that makes sense to you, and listen to that doctor. But my answer, my unprofessional answer, because I'm not a doctor, but my experience is that absolutely triglycerides, absolutely 100% will get lowered through natural changes in lifestyle, stress, healing digestion, detoxification, all the things we talk about in the Gabriel Method, all the things that we're going to be focusing on over the next 5 weeks in the New You in the New Year program. But everything that we're doing naturally reduces triglycerides. I had triglycerides through the roof when I was overweight. I didn't take statins. My triglycerides are as perfect. My blood work is really good now. 100%. By reducing stresses, you will reduce triglycerides. So yes, you can do it without statins, there's no question. But that being said, you do need to follow your doctor's advice. It's up to you to pick your doctor, but you do have to follow their advice. Does that make sense?
Yes, it is. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Okay. Let us talk to, who's after Susan? Okay. Who is this? Okay. What is it? Nay. Is there someone named Nay on the line there? Nave. Nave? Nave, are you there?
Is it Neve?
It's Neve. It's Neve. That's what it is. It's Neve.
Neve from Ireland.
Neve from Ireland. That's what it is. How can I help you?
Hi, John.
Hi, Neve.
I started following your program the beginning of this year, and just in relation to the visualizations, I'm finding that I'm not able to finish it because what's happening to me is I'm lovely and relaxed, and I'm listening to your lovely dulcet tone, and half of my body goes into this sort of spasm, and I get really, really uncomfortable, and I can't listen to it much more.
Okay.
So I have to stop it.
Are we talking about the evening? Neve, are we talking about the evening visualization or the morning visualizations?
Evening visualization.
And the spasms, or is there any pain associated to that?
No, just a discomfort.
Okay.
Just
irritability. Yes?
Sorry, go on.
Slight irritability. Okay, so it could be from a number of reasons.
Yeah.
One of the reasons could be because there's something in the visualization, some suggestion that we're making that your body is rebelling against, a suggestion about that it's easy and effortless to lose weight, or that it's safe to lose weight, or that you're in a safe place. Whatever the suggestion is, your body is rebelling against it. But what's interesting about that is that that really speaks to the heart of what the problem is, because your body has this feeling like it needs to hold on to weight. You're communicating to your body that you need to let go of weight. Your body's rebelling a little. That's fairly common. The spasms are not as common, but the feeling of agitation that comes with that is common. So what I would suggest is that you work through this issue in a more gradual way. Maybe rather than listen to the evening visualizations for a while, I suggest you listen to some of the 10-minute daytime visualizations, see if they bother you. My guess is they won't bother you because they don't go as long or as deep. You listen to them for a while and then go back to the evening visualization and see if you can get to that place. I remember when I was first losing weight, I used to listen to this visualization where it would get to a certain point in the visualization where I just couldn't hear it. And I'd like blank out, like my mind couldn't hear what it was saying. And then it would start again. I would hear it again maybe a few minutes later. And it was always at the same place where my mind would blank out and it would come back again. And I got so frustrated by that I listened to this visualization every day for months because I was determined to hear what it was that it was saying. Finally, it has something about releasing emotions and letting them go, like leaves through the tree, like wind through leaves through a tree. You're releasing, you're letting go of pain. There was some really painful thing that I couldn't hear, I couldn't process. But in doing that and going through it, I was able to process it and work through the issue, and my weight loss accelerated. My sense is there's something coming up that's very, very powerful for you, Neve. And my guess is, if I were to get kind of intuitive about it, my guess is that it has something to do with safety. It has something to do with the feeling that it's safe to lose weight, because sometimes we use weight as a form of protection. It's like a buffer from the world. It protects us from an unsafe world. And if we've had abusive people in our life or angry people in our life, either earlier or now or presently, then the body's actually using it as a form of safety. So when I'm making the suggestion that it's safe to let go of weight and it's safe to be thin, if you've had that association in your life, your body might be rebelling to that. But it's so important for you to work through this issue, because until your body feels that it's safe to let go of the weight, your body's not going to want to let go of the weight easy. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. So I would start by give the evening visualization a rest for now, and go back to or go to listening to some of the morning visualizations, and then once a week or so revisit the evening visualization to see if you can get to the point where your body's not rebelling. Okay?
Will do. Thank you very much.
Okay. I would also suggest that you just check with your doctor to make sure that it's not a question of that you might have epilepsy or something like that, because that can sometimes, there's a disclaimer that we put in the visualizations not to listen to them if you have epilepsy, because there's a frequency following response that's just like strobe lights can trigger an epileptic response, so can the music. So make sure that there's not a medical issue, but as long as there's not a medical issue, that's the strategy I would take. Okay, Neve?
Yeah, I'm sure that's not the case, but
okay,
I'll check anyway. Thanks.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, I just want to say one thing. We're supposed to stop in 3 minutes. I will go longer to make sure we can take these callers. And if you have any other questions, we'll try to answer them in the chat roll. Again, if you're really serious about changing your life forever and making the New Year's resolution stick, I would encourage you to maybe learn a little bit more about this New You in the New Year intensive that we're about to start in a couple of days. We're going to be working together a couple of times a week. We're going to be answering questions every day and working to create positive habits and reinforcing them one step at a time over a 5-week period, so that you can have changes that will last you not only throughout the year, but throughout the entire life. It's the most comprehensive program I've put together for creating healthy habits that will allow your body to lose weight naturally and easily, get your body to want to be thin, get your body more nourished and healthy, release junk food cravings, allow yourself to lose weight. So there's some information on the page. I would encourage you to learn more about it, see if it's right for you. We're only going to work with a very small group, just a couple hundred people, and we're going to work very, very closely. So just wanted to mention that, and I will take the next caller now, who is Sue from Melbourne.
Hi, John. How are you?
Good. How are you, Sue?
Very well, thank you. I'm hoping you can help me out here. I've got issues with starting. Just a little bit of quick history because I know we don't have much time.
That's okay.
A few years ago, I dropped 54 kilos quite well. I was focused. I felt fantastic. Kept it off for 3 years. And then I've gone back into a habit. I would put on a couple or get on top of it. I've got to a stage now where I've gained about 28 kilos of that. And I know it's probably emotional eating. I'm a happy person. Life's good. But I will go looking for food. I'm not hungry. And I won't go for an apple. I will go through my whole pantry and even eat my kids' sweets. And it's a need. And once I've finished what I'm eating, I'll go look for more. It's like a constant thing. Life is pretty busy. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much.
No, I'm listening.
So I wrote some notes down here to say here, I go to bed at night frustrated. Oh, my God, why have I done that? Why can't I just do one day where I eat well? And every morning I wake up, I go, today is going to be the day. And every night I go to bed disappointed. I start well, I have a good breakfast and go, this is it. But within minutes of eating that breakfast or within minutes of the day, and it's more to do when I'm at home because I work from home. So I should probably tell you that.
Okay, so Sue, has there been any changes in the last 3 years? Did you start working from home 3 years ago? Did the kids leave? Did you start a new relationship, end a new relationship? Did somebody die? Anything?
No, look.
Any triggers? It's really important to try to focus.
Yeah, I started working. I started working for the lady that I'm currently working for.
Okay, so.
And prior to that, I was going to the gym in the mornings, and that was my time. As you were talking to someone else before about, having your time, your nourishment time to nourish your soul, that was nourishing my soul. Yeah. And I would still continue to sort of go to the gym when I started working with this lady. But
you don't have that now, right? You're not having that. You're not having your time. Is that what you're saying?
No, because it's school holidays here in Australia, and the kids have been off for 5 weeks, and I like to have that quality time with the kids. And lots of things have happened in the last year where I've moved house and we built a house, so there was a lot of busy time. I don't like to use the word stress because I don't like to believe that I do stress. So there's been a lot sort of happening, and I sort of put a date down that when the kids start school next week that I'm going to begin my time again.
Okay.
So my question for you...
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm talking too much.
No, you're not. Go ahead. What's your question?
Well, my question is, where do I begin? Like, I can start and do my little meditation things I'll listen to, but I've got to be consistent. I heard you say to someone, start with a visualization, and then if I start with a visualization, will the craving for proper food and not wanting, my thing is I just constantly will eat, and when I finish that, there's something I need to finish everything.
I got you. I got the whole picture. Okay, so Sue, the first thing is, if I look at my life, okay, I have a meditation that I do in the morning, which I incorporate visualization into the meditation because they're very similar, but that's my time. The rest of the day, I'm working. I'm finishing 2 books this week. We've got our New Year and the New Year webinar coming next week. I'm doing coaching with lots of different clients. We're making, I'm always out. I'm parenting. I'm out the rest of the time. The rest of the day belongs to however life wants to work through me is the rest of the day. But I have to have my time. And my time can be 10 minutes or it can be 3 hours. I might wake up at 4 in the morning and I might meditate for 3 hours. That's just because I love it, and that's what's evolved over time. Sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's 10 minutes, but I have to have my time. If I don't have my time, the rest of the day is a write-off. I wish I hadn't got out of bed. I make mistakes. I get into fights. I'm not productive. It's a bunch of busy work. I eat the wrong foods. I'm physically exhausted, and life takes on a negative spiral. But when I have my time in the morning, it creates a positive momentum. You need that again. Now, there might be other aspects to this job that are triggering you in your relationship with your boss or this person you're working with that are triggering you. And my sense is that there are issues, and there might be some issues from working from home. But to address those issues, or whatever issues come up, you have to have your time again. That is a must, and you have to never lose that. Nothing in life can take that away from you. If it means waking up a half an hour earlier, or going to sleep a half an hour earlier, like for me personally, if I have to catch a flight at 5 o'clock in the morning, I got to walk out at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do my meditation, because I have to have it, and because I love it so much, and because my life sucks, quite frankly, if I don't do these things. So I have to recharge my body. You have to do that too. You have to find something. Now, we make it easy with the visualizations. We make just 10-minute visualizations in the morning that you can listen to. You can listen to them while they're in bed. Ideally, you want to sit up and listen to it, but you can listen to it while you're in bed if you have to. But you need something. If it was the gym, whatever it was, you've got to have your time again, and that will create a positive momentum in your life that will help you address the other issues. Right now, you're spiraling out of control, and I feel for you. I really feel for you. You can try to hold the reins, but you know that that's not working. What will work is to create a positive spiral in the opposite direction, which means that as soon as you get up in the morning, you have your time. If it's a 10-minute visualization, if it's going for a walk, if it's doing some journaling or drawing or making arts and crafts, or just sitting there saying, I love you over and over again, hugging yourself, whatever you can do, you need your time. And that will create a positive momentum going in the other direction. I will just mention to you, just coincidentally, that the kids go back to school on Tuesday. I think at least that's the way it is here in Queensland. We're starting our New You in the New Year program on Wednesday. So there is kind of a synchronicity there if you're interested in looking into it, and that will.
Is that this Wednesday?
That's this Wednesday, yeah.
Is that this Wednesday the 29th?
Yeah, it's this Wednesday the 29th, yeah.
Oh, there's my birthday, so there's another sign.
All right, well, there's your birthday. So on your birthday, the day after kids go back from school, we're starting this New You in the New Year program. And one of the things that we will be asking everyone to do over a 5-week period is listen to visualization as soon as they wake up in the morning, just 10 minutes. But that, and specific visualizations each week as we're focusing on different aspects of mind-body health and different triggers that we talk about in the Gabriel Method. But we will be doing a visualization every day as soon as you wake up. So that will help you create a positive momentum and a positive spiral. Because I do feel for what you're going through. I have lived through similar situations. I've talked to many people that have. And it is very much disheartening, but for me and the people I work with, it always starts with visualization. It always starts with first thing in the morning, re-energizing, having your time, creating a positive spiral that comes from a vision of imagining the things that you want to happen during that day and during your life, and then turning that negative spiral into a positive spiral. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just going to add one thing to that. So that would help, because I'm either 100% good and exercise like crazy and are all for it, or I'm 100% bad. Yeah. So what I want to do is get that happy medium where I don't have to be 100%. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. So that will help guide me to get back. Yeah.
That's the idea. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
John, I just want to say.
Go ahead.
Can I just say that it's amazing. I've been joining with your group for many years, and when I first got your book, and the passion that you have and the amount of people that you help, it's just phenomenal. And I don't think you could even imagine the impact you have on so many people's lives. So I would, on behalf of everybody that you've touched and have helped, would like to really thank you. You know, we really appreciate you putting yourself out there in their time. I know you're really passionate about it, and it's great that you can help so many people. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sue. I very much appreciate that. I really do. I love doing what I do.
And I'll get into this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, have a look at it. I love doing what I do.
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
I wouldn't do anything else. I can't imagine doing anything else. And, you couldn't, I would just do this. I would pay to get out there, and it's just exploding sometimes. But I do appreciate the acknowledgement, so thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I've put a big sign here that says my time, and excellent. Whether it be 10 minutes or 3 hours, and never to lose that. And that's going to start not when the kids go back to school. It's going to start tonight. I'm going to have some time. So, excellent. All right, so thank you, and I'll definitely be in touch with the New Year, New You.
Excellent. Okay, sir. Great to talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
You too.
Okay, so I think I think is our last caller is Danielle? Aaron? Is that right? Okay, so our last caller, we got Danielle. Danielle, you
Yes.
there? Hi.
Hi. Yes, hi. Hi, John. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking this last call.
My pleasure.
Well, this previous caller actually, she talked about a lot of things that I can relate to. It's kind of like the extreme. You either really watch and you feel like, oh, you're on this amazing path, and I'm pretty much, I'll just give you a little of my situation. So, generally speaking, in terms of losing weight, my goal is really, if I lose 10 pounds, then I see myself as really slim, and that's my goal. And it sounds so easy, but it's really not. I find myself actually, creeping up and down. Sorry, you hear this noise. And what I... Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to... Can you hear me?
Are you at an airport?
No, I'm not in an airport. I'm in the garage that I just had to open, and I really apologize.
Okay.
And but what I wanted to say is that basically I go from going up and down, and I go through these phases that I feel like I'm so strong and I can inspire so many people, and I could stand there and lecture about nutrition and exercise and yoga, and then all of that, and when I'm on that phase, I truly believe that I would never even change, and I would only stay on that path. And I have this strong belief that I can't even imagine that I could fall back. And somehow, when I reached my goal, which I usually do, or in between, I would never really actually. What's interesting is I never really reach completely the goal. So if my goal is 10 pounds, I would lose, let's say, 5 or 7 pounds. And then I reach this point that I feel really good, and then I feel too good, and then it creeps up on me, and I start sabotaging, my success.
Okay, so
that's pretty much what's happening.
Okay, I would argue if we're talking about 7 pounds here, which is what we're talking about, correct?
Yes, I would really 10 pounds will be my goal.
10 pounds would be your goal, but your weight fluctuates within a 7-pound range, and you're within 3 pounds of your goal. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would argue that your body is your natural set point is that is the weight where your body's comfortable being right now is in between that 7-pound period, and your body's naturally fluctuating back and forth between that. So when you get down to that point, your body's going to do certain things to want you to put on a couple more pounds. When you get to the top of that range, you're going to have more strength and energy, but really your body is just letting you lose the weight now because you're a little bit higher than that range. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I have another problem. My problem is not just the weight, is that when I was pregnant with my second child, I had gestational diabetes, so I really have to monitor my my fasting blood sugar.
Okay, all right. So
and that's another thing.
Okay, so that's fine. Then everything I'm saying is going to relate to that. So what I want to say is that is to recognize that your body has this natural rhythm to it. So my body probably has 5 pounds that it goes up and down. I don't pay any attention to it whatsoever, none. But I know it does that. I can see that, and I don't weigh, but I'm guessing it's 5 pounds up and down. Big deal. That's just the way your body. That's the way your body oscillates around a set point. That's all that is, and that's what you have. But what makes it worse for you and not for me is that when you're going down, that is when your body your body starts wanting to put on your ideal weight, and your body starts wanting to put on that extra weight, you exacerbate the problem by taking this all or none approach where you're like, well, screw it now, I'm not going to exercise, I'm going to go off everything that I was doing, it's not working for me, it's all off, and so your fluctuation becomes 7 pounds, when in reality your fluctuation would only be 3 pounds or something like that. So you're making this fluctuation worse by adding opinions to it. So what I would suggest is that you have no opinion whatsoever. You recognize that your body is going to fluctuate a little bit, and you have no opinions about it, and whatever you're feeling, you make sure that you continue to practice a visualization of your ideal body, And then maybe you're going to do a little bit of exercising, maybe you're not, maybe you're going to eat poorly, maybe you're going to eat well. Don't focus on it at all. Don't worry about it. Recognize that it's part of the cycle. You will come back around again. And by doing this, what's going to happen is that set point is going to shift down to where you want it to be, because you're not adding the extra stress and the dysfunctional habits that are making the whole fluctuation worse. So leave it alone. Don't fluctuate. Don't think about the fluctuations. Keep doing at least visualizations when you're having the off period. And whenever you can, do the positive things and forget about the negative things. It will take the stress out of it. It'll take the amplitude off of the fluctuation of the wave. And your set point will drift naturally down so that you'll be at your ideal weight and maybe fluctuate 3 or 4 pounds around your ideal weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I guess I'm always very harsh on myself
exactly.
and everything.
And that's making it worse. That's causing the problem.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what has to go. Once you let go of that and just keep nourishing yourself, even if you're feeling like eating ice cream, eat the ice cream, but make sure you're having a smoothie and healthy foods during your day too. Make sure the nourishment's going in too. And if you don't be destructive in terms of saying, I'm never going to exercise. If you're feeling a little bit active, do a little bit of exercise. Do the positive things. Focus on the positive things. Make sure you're doing at least the visualization every morning. Just keep focusing on the positive things. Don't worry about the bad things. Disempower them. Don't give them extra energy by giving them no energy. And you will oscillate toward a lower point that's closer to your set point. Okay?
Okay. Well, that sounds good. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Once again, over the next 5 weeks, I'm going to be doing this New Year and the New You. You can check it out on the page if you want. But I'll be back after that with more webinars and more information. It's just that for that period, I'm going to be pretty much consumed with the people that we're working with and also with our coaching clients. So until then, I wish you tremendous, fabulous success in the new year. Make sure that whatever it is that you want to create as a healthy habit for this year, just spend 30 seconds every morning visualizing. If you were to have a New Year's resolution, I would suggest it to be the practice visualization every morning, even for just 30 seconds, because then you have a tool for creating other New Year's resolutions. So you want to give up smoking, you want to eat healthy, you want to do this, you want to do that. Put it into your visualizations in the morning, and that will make it stick during the day. Whatever you visualize yourself doing in the morning, you're most likely to actually do during the day. So make your New Year's resolution to practice visualization every single morning, even for just 30 seconds. Just imagine your day, imagine the weight falling off you. Just that is enough to create a positive momentum in your life to make all of your other New Year's resolutions stick for good. So that's it. Thanks very much. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.